is about how governments intervene in international trade. Okay. So before Haziq, oh, you are here. Haziq Aiman. Yes, finally. Haziq. Oh, Haziq. Haziq.
Ya, saya dengar Kak.
Haziq Aiman. Jalan jam eh?
Jam. Terlampau jam.
Okay.
Sebab budak
Area,
sekolah
area mana?
Kajang.
Kajang. Uish, memang kawasan yang
Dekat
kata
yang
apa?
Pekan Kajang tu.
Ya, penduduk padat dekat MRT tu. Itu
Ya
kalau
betul
kena
tu.
sate,
Lepas stadium.
kalau kena sate Kajang memang
Eh,
terangkat.
Haji Samuri, doktor.
Ya, Haji Samuri, tak ada haji lain dah. Okay, alright. Okay, so today, Atika, have you taste sate Kajang before?
Ada dulu sekali.
Sekali is not enough, right? Okay. But according to the Kajang people, there are other places that they claim to be more tastier than sate Kajang lah. Okay. But the most important thing when you go to the restaurants, make sure that you don't order ikan siakap and also make sure that your stomach is empty. Alright. Okay. Alright. So sorry Data telat join baru pulang apa toh? Dia ngomong apa ti? Baru telat Pak Gusti ni baru telat join baru. Oh, okay, alright. Ya, Bapak Gusti tak apa. This is the time for you to serve your parents, right? Okay, so no worries. So when we say government intervention, this is one example. So are you seeing what I'm trying to show you? A news headline from our newspaper, New Straits Times. In Singapore, there's also New Straits Times. So are you seeing what I'm trying to show you? Can you please?
Yes, can.
Okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is one example of an intervention from a government, okay, on cross-border activity, okay, or international trade. All right. So in this example, Malaysia imposes provisional anti-dumping duties. All right, anti-dumping duties on steel imports from Indonesia and Vietnam. Okay, so let us look at the content of the news. The government is imposing provisional anti-dumping duties on imports of cold rolled stainless steel in coils. Okay, this is the one. All right, the one next to the vessel on the yacht. Okay, alamak, one contrast. Okay, this is the one. Okay, so this thing is in this situation. Okay, all these cold roll stainless steels. Okay, they are imported from either Vietnam or Indonesia. So the Ministry of International Trade and Industry said it had completed the preliminary determination of the anti-dumping investigation. So before the government takes any action, they need to investigate. Okay, concerning imports of the subject merchandise originating or exported from the alleged countries, and found there were sufficient evidences for further investigation. So basically what happened is that before they start their investigation, maybe they receive some complaints from local companies, okay, about the importation of this merchandise, all right? So the government therefore has decided to impose a provisional measure which shall be in the form of provisional anti-dumping duties guaranteed by a security equivalent to the amount of the dumping margins determined in the preliminary determination. So preliminary anti-dumping duties or the tax ranging from 7.73% to 34 point. Okay, somebody wants to. Zani Taslim, you want to?
No.
Okay, you mispressed something, right? Okay, all right. So provisional anti-dumping duties ranging from 7.73% to 34.82% will be applied on imports of subject merchandise from the alleged countries and shall be effective not more than 130 days from December. This is last year's event, okay? December 26, 2020. MITI said in a statement. So somebody probably have complained to the government saying that some parties have imported this merchandise at a very low cost price. All right. So, and the local players, the local domestic or the Malaysian companies feel that the cost or the price of this product at the local market, Malaysian market, is basically against the spirit of fair play, okay, or fair trade. All right. So they complain. So the ministry launched an investigation. So probably they found out that there is some irregularities in terms of the import activities for this particular product. So they decided to impose more taxes on this product. All right. So this is one example of government intervention. So in the case of free trade, probably they will just let it go. Okay. In the spirit of free trade, so they will just let it go. All right. So probably perhaps based on the main judgment that the consumer will benefit from this trade, right? Okay, so that is one example, okay, of a government intervention. Okay, sorry doktor, line problem tadi. Okay, alright. Kenapa dah tadi si Fakrun ni? Okay, Fakrun, right, line problem. Okay, so now we want to look at the this topic, the political economy of international trade. So political economy means the economic system that will be adopted by the or any particular country will be influenced by what? Will be influenced by the political aspiration of that particular country. Okay. So in this situation, any country, their policies on international trade will be influenced by this political aspect, and then how it will influence the economic approaches or the economic systems that they are going to adopt in that particular country. Okay. So for the introduction, free trade refers to the situation where a government does not attempt to restrict what its citizens can buy from another country or what they can sell to another country. Okay. So anything that you want to buy or anything that you want to sell in a free trade country may include not just legal things from our perspective, okay, may also include other things that we may think as not suitable, okay, for our community. Macam mana aku nak terangkan benda ni? Alright. Because in Australia, in Canada, in US, okay, you can actually buy some things related to adulthood, okay, at in the city, at shopping places, okay, even in 7-Eleven, sorry to say. Okay, do you understand or not? So let's say in Canada, in Australia, if you go to the 7-Eleven stores, for example, okay, so you can buy magazines. All right, so that is free trade. What type of magazine? Well, I don't have to explain that. Okay, that type of magazine. All right, for adult people. All right, so which means I have seen them, okay, being sold in 7-Eleven. All right. And in Australia, in Brisbane, while taking the bus, and then the bus suddenly stopped at a bus stop, okay. And then next to the bus stop is a shop that sells condoms, a big size condoms, okay, which is for us is for our society it's weird, okay, it's a weird situation, but for them it's okay. Okay, so they are not restricting anything that their citizens want to buy or anything that their businesses wants to sell. All right, so if you go overseas, don't be surprised that you will see this kind of things. Okay, so please take care of your iman. All right. So while many nations are nominally, okay, or nominally, all right, committed to free trade, they tend to intervene. So in fact, not many, but most nations, they claim that they are committed to free trade. Okay, but Malaysia, we are committed more to fair trade rather than free trade. So those countries who normally committed to free trade, they tend to intervene in international trade to protect the interests of politically important groups, okay, pressure groups, right? Okay. So how governments intervene in international trade? There are 7 main instruments of trade policy. Okay, like the one that I showed you just now is an example of one of these main instruments. Okay, so we have tariffs, and then we have subsidies. Okay, and then we have import quotas, voluntary export restraints, local content requirement, anti-dumping policies, and administrative policies. All right. Have we discussed this topic before or not? Just to make sure that I'm not repeating.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, all right. Because I have 2 classes. One is part-time, one is full-time. Okay, so for part-time students, I have already discussed this. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. All right, just to make sure. Okay. So let us look at the first one, a tariff. What is a tariff? Okay, a tax levied, not Levi's. Okay, Levi's is for the brand name for the trousers. A tax levied on imports, okay, that effectively raises the cost of imported products relative to domestic products. Okay, and there are several types of tariffs. For example, here we have specific tariffs levied as a fixed charge for each unit of a good imported. Okay, and then we have ad valorem tariffs levied as a proportion of the value of the imported good, okay, or goods, right? So why do government? I will show you some the Malaysian examples of these duties or tariffs. Okay, why do government impose tariffs? So this will be the main motive. All right. So this will be the main motive. Despite the government has many other avenues, okay, or ways on getting their revenues, okay, tariff is one of the most popular one. Okay, increase government revenues. And then to provide protection to domestic producers against foreign competitors by increasing the cost of imported foreign goods and force consumers to pay more for certain imports. All right, because governments always feel that the customers or consumers should pay more attention on products produced by domestic producers. Okay, so basically tariffs are unambiguously, okay, no doubt, all right, sorry, so unambiguously pro-producer and anti-consumer, okay, because you're forcing consumers to pay more, and tariffs reduce the overall efficiency of the world economy as they claim, all right, okay, right, so that is number 1, tariffs. All right, so I want to show you, okay, some examples of Malaysian case of tariffs or import duties. Okay, hold on now. Di manakah dikau guide Tanjaya? Okay, for Malaysia's case, pula tadi ni. Baik. Okay. So this is an example, right, on automotive industry. Okay, for automotive industry. Guide on automotive industry, but this is for 2018, right? So things have changed. So sales tax. This is sales tax, bukan tu eh. So this is sales tax. Sorry. Okay, duties and taxes on motor vehicle. All right. Can you see? Are you seeing what I'm trying to show you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So, CBU, CKD. CBU, CKD apa ah? What is CBU? What is CKD? Chris Dayanti ke? Bukan CKD. What is CKD? What is CKD? Anybody? Help! What is CKD? Chris Dayanti bukan. Siti dengan Chris Dayanti. Siti Nurhaliza. Bukan. CBU, what is CBU?
Dia kata
Philippines Cebu.
CBU is complete build up, then CKD is complete down.
Completely down Oh, okay.
Tak tahu lah.
Doctor.
Yeah.
So CKD is completely knocked down, which means the manufacturer only import the part like engine, gearbox, so they build themselves. They import the part.
Yes.
CKD
Yes.
is a completely built unit.
Completely
Yeah.
built unit.
So
Alright.
which means they import the whole car in.
Yes. Okay, import the whole car in. Examples of cars imported in CBU. Import examples of cars imported into Malaysia, CBU. Any example?
Like the luxurious car lor, Aston
Luxury
Martin.
car lah kan, alright. For
Yeah.
example lah, Bentley. Okay.
Yeah.
Bentley. Don't forget to pay the road tax, alright? So Bentley or pay the bank installment. Don't burn your car if you cannot pay your installment. Alright. Ferrari, for example lah. Okay. So those are CBU cars. Okay. Any example of CBU cekadok? Kau lapor Fakrun. Sabar je lah. Mentang-mentang lah pukul 3. Cucuk belah ni Mereka kata cucuk. Cekodok boleh jugalah. Okay, example of CBU in Indonesia. Anybody? Di cekodok. Sabar je lah. Cucuk pisang. Sedap. Any example of CBU cars in Indonesia? Mana ibu-ibu ni, bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu. Siapa yang aku menyanyi kan hujan terus. Examples of CBU cars in Indonesia? Yang bapak-bapak seberang ni. Okay. What is MFN and what is Atiga? Atiga is by Pro2, is it? Atiga is not Pro2. Okay, MFN is most favored nation. Okay, the rate from most favored nation or a country which is given priority to do trade with Malaysia, for example. Okay, while Atiga is ASEAN Trade in Goods Agreement. Okay, so Malaysia has an agreement with other ASEAN countries, right? So they will give special rates for goods imported, all right, for CBU and also for CKD. Okay. So this is for station wagon, sports cars, and also racing car. Oh, racing car. I might not forget about it. Okay. And then there's another set of tariff schedule. Okay. Yeah, later, if you want to work for the customs department, all right, Malaysia's custom departments for Malaysia or Singapore, Indonesia, you are going to confront the same thing. Okay. Are you seeing what I'm trying to show you? Tariff schedule of Malaysia. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So basically, what happened is that when, let's say you are a customs officer and then something arrives at the port and then you want to determine what will be the tariff, right? So you need to refer to the HS code. You need to refer to the description of the product. And then from there, you need to determine what is the rate of import duty. Okay. For example, I want to show you, because there is 0 numbers here. So those with numbers, you need to go to the very bottom of this report. So this report, if you're a custom officer, it's going to be crazy, man. Okay, because why? you have to check, okay, from page 1 until page 582. So that's why they put all this into the computer system. Okay, but last time I saw this book at the customer office. It's like the book is very thick. Okay, it's very thick. It's like our Quran. Okay, double than that. All right, so you need to scroll through all the pages, okay, to find the correct description and also the correct code, and then try to determine what will be the import duty for that particular product. For this case, porcelain of China, 20%. Okay. But now they already put all these things into the computer system. All right. So not that tough like anymore. Okay, for customs officer. Okay, what is HS? Okay, what is HS? HS means harmonized system. All right, it's called harmonized system. Okay, where is it? Okay, here you are. Okay, it's called HS, harmonized system. Okay, harmonized systems codes. So they have categories of product, all right, according to the HS code. So this is basically an internationally recognized. Okay. So when you want to declare your products, make sure that you declare properly, and then the custom office will check. So your products will fall into which category, okay, and which HS code, and then they will determine the DT, the tax rate or the DT rate. Okay. All right. So those are some examples on the tariffs, okay, imposed by the Malaysian Customs Department. If you want to learn more about all these import and export activities, the tariff rates, you can go to the RMCP, Royal Malaysian Customs Department. Okay, RMCP. All right. Okay. The Customs Department in Indonesia, what is it called? What is it called? Anybody can help me? What is the Customs Department in Indonesia? What is it called?
Bea Cukai, Dokter.
Apa dia?
Bea Cukai.
Can you write in the chat? Is it like Kementerian or Department? BEA, okay, BEA. B stands for Badan. Is it Badan? Can you write in the chat? BEA Cukai. Badan. Ini BEA Cukai. Oh, all right. It's not written here what is BEA. General BEA and Cukai. Do you know what is BEA? You don't know. All right. Okay. For Malaysians, okay, if you want to go check for the Indonesia's Customs Department, you can go to BEA Cukai, official website Directorate General BEA dan Cukai. BEA. What is BEA? Kementerian Kewangan. Or they are under the Ministry of Finance. Right. All right. So maybe you can check later on the meaning of BEA. Okay. All right. So let us go to the PowerPoint slides again. Where are you? Here you are. All right. So we have look at tariffs. Okay. And then subsidies. Okay. This is a very straightforward intervention instrument. Okay. A subsidy, a government payment to a domestic producer. All right. Subsidies help domestic producers to compete against low-cost foreign imports and gain export markets, and consumers typically absorb the cost of subsidies. So basically, in Malaysia, there are many subsidies given to private companies. Okay, For example, when they do marketing program, okay, when they attend marketing program organized by Matrade, for example, okay, so they will be subsidized in the promotional activities. All right. If the companies invest in R&D, they will also receive grants, for example. All right. So those are examples of subsidies. Okay, research grant, for example. All right. For the agricultural sector, they also receive lots of subsidies from the government, okay, for fertilizers, for seeds, right? So many other types of subsidies. Almost in every industry, subsidies are being given to local producers, okay? Not just Malaysia, even the United States of America, they give subsidies. The US government, they give millions of dollars to agricultural sector in America, okay, to help grow crops, many types of crops from ranging from wheat, okay, wheat production, gandum, until rice, for example, okay, they produce rice and they export rice, okay, they export to Japan, right? And then the next instrument is import quota and voluntary export restraints. Import quota, okay, an import quota which is a direct restriction on the quantity of some good that may be imported into a country, okay, or tariff rate quota, which is related to the quota, okay. So a hybrid, what is tariff rate quotas? A hybrid of a quota and a tariff where a lower tariff is to apply to imports within the quota than to those over the quota. Okay, it's a combination of quota and also the tariff. Okay, so if you import this much, this will be the tariff. But if you import more than the quota, then a new tariff rate will be applied, which is normally higher lah. If you look at the ebook, you can see a graph, a diagram, okay, illustrating this tariff rate quota. Okay. And then the other instrument is voluntary export restraints, quotas on trade imposed by the exporting country, typically at the request of the importing country's government. For example, America, they so-called request. Okay, actually they instructed Japanese automotive companies to stop exporting cars to America when they reach certain quotas. Okay, when they reach certain quotas, right? For Malaysia situation, okay, this voluntary export restraint is being used by the government during festivities, okay, during festivities. For example, Hari Raya, all right, during Hari Raya Idul Fitri, okay, some fishery products are not allowed to be exported to Singapore. Okay, some types of fish, okay, some type of fish are not allowed to be exported to Singapore. All right. So during Hari Raya, people will eat lots of more. They will eat that type of fish probably more rather than normal hours or normal days. Okay. All right. And the last one is a quota rent. Okay. This has got nothing to do with rental. The extra profit that producers make when supply is artificially limited by an import quota. Okay, so the government will impose tax. So it's like a windfall. All right, you earn more unexpectedly. Okay, a quota rent. All right. Okay, so that is number 3. Now, number 4. So basically, who will benefit from import quotas and voluntary export restraint? Normally domestic producers. Okay. But again, they are arguing that the consumers they will have to pay for the consequences. So this is the argument used by the author of this book to promote free trade, basically. Okay. So they are trying to induce readers of these books to support free trade. All right. The next instrument is local content requirement. Okay, local content requirement. A local content requirement demands that some specific fraction of good be produced domestically. Okay. So it can be in physical terms or in value terms. All right. Local content requirement. In Malaysia, okay, in Malaysia, some advertisement, okay, last time, you know what is advertisement, right, Eklan? Okay, some advertisements, they must be produced in Malaysia, okay, to portray local content or to appeal to the local viewers, for example, okay. So the government impose certain percentage of that advertisement to include local, for example, local actors, okay, or the local content. All right, but now actually they have liberalized this industry, okay, the entertainment industry, the communication industry. So Malaysians can actually see advertisements being produced and perhaps published from Indonesia, and then but being used in Malaysia. Okay, but they change the, for example, they do the dubbing again. Okay, they do the dubbing again so that the Malaysian viewers will not listen to the Indonesian accent, but they will listen to the Malaysian accent. All right. For example, the soap product. Okay, this not dishwasher. What is soap? Cleaning products. Okay, soaps, shampoos, Lifebuoy. Okay, Lifebuoy. Lifebuoy is from Indonesia. Okay, so if you properly watch the advertisement, you can actually see that the actors and also the people inside the advertisement is actually from Indonesia, but they redub again. Okay, they change the sound so that it will portray the Malaysian accent. Okay, or it will appeal so that it will appeal to the Malaysian customers or consumers. Okay, local content requirement is also required, for example, in automotive industry. Okay, certain percentage of the parts of the car or the vehicle, okay, must be produced, but must be assembled locally. Okay, so must be assembled locally. So not really, the content is not really from local, but being assembled locally. So we have several cars actually assembled in Malaysia, and they receive special rates. Okay, do you know the type of car being assembled here in Malaysia, and then they receive less tax? Okay, as compared to like CKD just now. Okay, the type of cars in Malaysia being produced in Malaysia. Do you know any types of car being foreign cars, foreign brands, but being produced in Malaysia? Do you know any example?
Porsche.
Porsche. Porsche is produced in which area?
Kulim, sir.
Kulim.
Later we assemble in Kulim.
Porsche assembled in Kulim. Other examples?
Mercedes.
Mercedes produced in assembled in
I think Pekan is the
Pekan Pahang.
factory.
Yeah, Pekan. Volkswagen. Okay, Volkswagen. If you ask German people, they pronounce Volkswagen differently from us. Okay. So Volkswagen is assembled in. Anybody knows? Volkswagen Passat. Okay, assembled in Pekan Pahang also. Honda. Some of Honda cars actually assembled in
Malacca.
Melaka. You are from Melaka, Jing Chen?
No, I'm
No.
JB.
Okay. Anybody from Melaka? Anybody from Melaka? Nobody from Melaka. Don't want to declare, never mind. Oh, okay. So Fakrun is from Melaka. Apa khabar? Okay, baca surat khabar kau. Alright. Okay. So local content requirements benefit. Oh lemak. local content requirements benefit domestic producers and jobs, but consumers face higher prices. Again, okay. So that is the justification. Actually, the author of this text, they are going against government intervention. Okay. So, what are the other instruments? Administrative trade policies, bureaucratic rules that are designed to make it difficult for imports to enter a country. Okay, and every customs department in the world actually does this. Okay, they make it difficult, right? They make it difficult, right, for certain reasons. Okay, so if you want to import agricultural products into Malaysia, for example, you must go through certain agencies, right? Okay. What is the agency? Anybody knows? Agricultural products. The name of the agency appeared many times, like few months ago. Okay. Anybody have ever heard of MAKIS? Okay, the Malaysian Quarantine Agency. Okay, the agricultural and quarantine, something like that. Okay, MAKIS. So they are in charge of making sure that all agricultural products, including poultry, meat, okay, into Malaysia is following according to the rules and also regulation. Okay, it's not easy to take into agricultural products into a country. Okay, they must go through some rigorous process. Okay, why? Because some of these agricultural products, they also bring with them diseases, okay, related to agriculture, right? They bring also along with them bugs, for example, okay, or small creatures that can actually affect the local agricultural sector, okay. And some customs department, they purposely make it difficult to import certain products because they want to demotivate or discourage the company from exporting their products to that particular country, right? The country of Holland, they are popular in exporting what? Holland. Holland is popular in exporting what? Peanuts. Cakap seseorang ke aku ni? Holland.
Tulip.
Yes, tulips. Right, tulips. So, and if you read the text, you can see an example of administrative trade policies, not police. All right. Oh goodness, police. Okay. They want to export tulips to Japan, but Japanese border, the customs department, they want to make it difficult for tulip exporters. Okay, so they instructed the tulips to be cut into half. Okay, especially the tulip bulbs. You know what is tulip bulbs? The tulips which have not really berkembang apa ah? Aduh, yai. Okay, the tulip flower is still in a bulb form. Okay, what is berkembang? Flourish.
Belum ke
Develop.
betul?
Blooming.
Belum lagi.
Bloom. They have not yet bloom. All right, so that tulip bulbs, they want it to be cut into half. If you are the seller of the tulips, what is going to happen to the flower, to the tulips? Okay, it's considered damage, right? So you cannot sell it. So they make it hard, okay, for exporters. Probably because they want to protect their own local flower producers. Okay, so they make it difficult. All right. So that is on the administrative policies. Other than that, okay, the customs department also, or the government also, can claim that certain exporters, they are practicing dumping, not dumpling, dumping. Dumpling sedap, okay? Dumping is not, all right? Especially meat dumpling or chicken dumpling. Aduh, correct. So Dumpling ke dumpling ni. Dumpling you can find during convocation. Okay, normal convocation you can find dumpling. Alright. Ayo. Pukul berapa ni? Lapor dah pukul 4. Okay. So dumping is a practice of selling goods in a foreign market below their cost of production, like the example that I showed you just now. Okay. Or selling goods in a foreign market at below their fair market value. Okay. So competing companies, domestic competing companies, if they feel that the exported products are not fair according to their perspective, according to their valuation, so they will make a complaint, okay, to the Ministry of International Trade, or maybe they forward a complaint to the KPDN, Kementerian Perdagangan Dalam Negeri. Okay, so they will file a complaint. All right. So this is a way for firms to unload excess production in foreign market. Dumping is actually one way for firms to unload excess production in foreign markets. Okay. At one point of time, maybe some Malaysians, they can see that there are lots of products from mainland China coming into Malaysia at a very cheap price. Okay. So, but is that a dumping or not? We are not sure. Okay, but basically they have excess production in their home country, so that is one way that they can let go all this inventory or stock in the warehouse. Okay, because every time you keep your product in the warehouse, it means cost. And dumping also may be a predatory behavior. Okay, predatory behavior. Okay, Predator. You watch Predator, all right? Predator 1, Predator 2, Predator 3, Predator versus Alien. Okay, and then the baby Predator also being born. Alien also had babies. Oh goodness. All right. So, what is the meaning of predatory behavior? Killing your competitor. Okay, predatory. Predator. Predator is like somebody who kills other people. Okay, so predator. So maybe a predatory behavior which produces using substantial profits from their home markets to subsidize prices in a foreign market with a view to driving indigenous competitors out of that market and later raising prices and earning substantial profits. So what happens is that you go into the market and then you offer your products at a very low price. You will experience loss, but you don't mind because you have already gained substantial profit from your home market to kill the domestic competitor. So when the domestic competitor is dead, then you will take advantage of the situation. Okay, you start to raise price and then earning substantial profit. All right. So you are able to do that because your competitor is no longer around. So you have already reached the state of monopoly, for example. Okay. So that is dumping. And then so we have anti-dumping policies, which designed to punish foreign firms that engage in dumping. So the goal is basically to protect domestic producers from unfair foreign competition. Okay. So US firms that believe a foreign firm is dumping can file a complaint with the government, and if the complaint has merit, anti-dumping duties, also known as countervailing duties, may be imposed. This is the same situation with Malaysian firms or Malaysian companies. Okay, you can actually file a complaint if you see that a foreign company or foreign products being dumped into Malaysian market. So you can file a complaint with the ministry. All right. Anti-dumping policy. So in Malaysia, apart from anti-dumping, we also have AMLA. All right. I think every country has this AMLA. All right. What is AMLA? AMLA. What is AMLA? Mana korang ni? Semua senyap ni. What is AMLA? No. What is AMLA? Can anybody write in the chat? AMLA. Yes, anti-money laundering. Okay. AML. All right. What is A? There are two A's. Anti-money laundering. What? Anti-money laundering Act. All right. So what is money laundering? You take your money and then you put it inside the laundry machine. No, okay. So it means something else. All right. That is that the money that you put into the washing machine, sometimes you don't realize it. That is another form of laundering. Okay, not money laundering. All right. It's almost 4 o'clock. I want to stop here for a while and we'll continue at 4:15. So you will have like around 15 to 20 minutes of break or 4:10. Okay, I will start again at 4:10. Okay, to discuss the case for government intervention. All right. So I will just leave this WebEx on. So we'll meet again around 4:10. Okay. Okay.